Welcome back to T-News 9, where we dive deep into the latest chapter of New Humanity. Today, we're exploring Chapter 26, the City of Shadow Roots. Picking up where we left off, Eli faces a crucial choice. He decides on Tunnel 3, the one leading deeper underground. A strange smile crosses Hale's face, almost as if this was the path he wanted Eli to take all along. As they descend, a noticeable shift happens. The air grows warmer, more humid. The cold, cracked concrete walls of the tunnels give way to ancient, weathered stone. But this isn't ordinary rock. Glowing blue veins pulse through it, crisscrossing the walls like the root system of some immense, subterranean organism. The sight is both beautiful and deeply unsettling. The narrow tunnel suddenly opens into a cavern so vast it could swallow an entire arena. Giant pillars, looking like fossilized tissue, stretch from the floor to the impossibly high ceiling, holding up the weight of the world above. Faintly glowing on the pillars are strange, unfamiliar symbols. Lyra, her voice barely a whisper, captures the feeling perfectly. This place. It feels alive. Their attention is drawn to a massive circular door at the far end of the cavern. It's covered in intricate spiral carvings that seem to move in the dim light. Hale, his expression grim, provides the name for this incredible place. This is the City of Shadow Roots, he says, the birthplace of the virus, and the graveyard of its first victims. Driven by an instinct he doesn't understand, Eli reaches out and touches the door. The moment his fingers make contact, the ancient carvings flare to life with a brilliant blue light. The door is recognizing something within him, the spark of the Alpha. With a deep, grinding sound that echoes through the cavern, the colossal stone door begins to open. What lies beyond is a chamber of horrors and wonders. It's filled with countless crystal-like cocoons, shimmering in the eerie light. Many are shattered and empty. Others are cracked open from the inside. But what makes Hale gasp in fear is the sight of the cocoons that are still intact, and still gently pulsing with a slow, rhythmic light. Hale's voice is filled with a terror Eli has never heard before. The Primarchs were not the only rulers, he says, his eyes wide. There were others, and some of them may still be sleeping. And that's where the chapter leaves us, on the edge of a terrifying new discovery. Chapter 27, The Memory of a God. This chapter changes everything we thought we knew about the Primarchs and their world. As Eli and Hale push further into the mysterious chamber, something strange happens. Eli feels a presence, a powerful consciousness reaching out to him. It isn't hostile, it isn't trying to take control, it's simply curious. Drawn by an unseen force, Eli reaches out and touches a cracked, ancient cocoon. In an instant, his reality shatters. He's no longer in the dark chamber but is violently thrown back in time, thousands of years into the memory of a long-dead god. He sees a breathtaking city, a metropolis belonging to the ancient species. Towers scraped the clouds, the skies were filled with light, and majestic Wind Class 1 Guardians soared like eagles. Among them, the Class 3 Primarchs walked like kings, the pinnacle of their civilization. But this isn't a memory of triumph. It's a vision of utter collapse. Eli is forced to watch as the virus, the very thing that gave them their power, begins to mutate beyond anyone's control. It was supposed to be a gift of evolution, but it became a curse. The beautiful creatures they created turned on them, their own creations becoming their executioners. The magnificent cities burned, and their world decayed into chaos and ruin. He witnesses the final moments of this great civilization. The last surviving Class 3 Primarchs sealed themselves deep underground, entombing themselves in cocoons with a solemn vow. One day, they would return to reclaim and rule a world purified of the chaos they had unleashed. As the vision fades, a haunting voice echoes in Eli's mind, a whisper of regret from an ancient being. We made the virus to perfect life, but it perfected death. Eli's ripped back to the present, his body trembling, his mind reeling from the weight of what he just saw. Halle is staring at him, his expression grim. "You saw it, didn't you?" he asks, their history. Eli can only nod, the terrifying truth settling in. Now he understands. The Primarchs don't want peace. They don't want coexistence. They want to burn our world down and rewrite evolution from the ashes of humanity. Chapter 28. The Betrayer of T-Corp. The situation on the surface is escalating, and the lines between right and wrong have never been more blurred. Back on the surface, Marcus Voss isn't wasting any time. He has officially launched Operation Iron Rebirth. Imagine this. The skies are swarming with surveillance drones, their lenses watching every move. Heavily armored units are rolling through the ruined streets of the city, their mission clear. Voss has deployed his special forces, soldiers enhanced with emotion control technology, ordering them to secure all so-called irregular entities. But this is where things get interesting. Not everyone is falling in line. A high-ranking officer, Captain Mira Solon, has taken a stand. She refuses to follow orders that put innocent civilians, now classified as unstable, in the line of fire. This leads to a massive confrontation with Voss himself. Picture the tension in that room. Voss, calm and cold, tells her, "You ignored a direct command." But Myra isn't backing down. She steps right up to him, her voice unwavering. "Your commands erase lives, not resolve crises," she says. "This isn't progress, it is a systematic purge of people who can defend themselves." Voss just gives her a chilling smile. He tells her that labels like innocence are meaningless now. In his new world, only those he deems suitable will be allowed to move forward. The confrontation reaches its peak when Myra tries to place him under military custody for his actions. But Voss is always one step ahead. He activates the Neurocrown control signal, and suddenly, several controlled Class 2 units storm into the chamber, completely shifting the power dynamic. Outgunned and outmaneuvered, Mira has no choice but to escape, taking a small group of loyal soldiers with her. And just like that, the military is fractured. The armed forces are now split into two opposing factions. On one side, you have Voss's loyalists, dedicated to enforcing his vision of absolute control. On the other, Captain Solon's defectors, determined to protect the remaining survivors at any cost. Humanity's unity is shattered. The internal conflict has officially begun. Chapter 29. The Rising of the Second Primarch. If you thought things couldn't get any more intense, you were mistaken. So grab your gear and let's get into it. The chapter opens deep within the Shadowroots chamber, and right away, the ground starts to shake. A massive tremor rips through the cavern, and everyone's attention is drawn to one of the colossal cocoons. It's cracking, guys. Cracking. And it's not just breaking apart. It's pulsing with this brilliant white and silver light. The energy is palpable, and you can just feel that something monumental is about to happen. Halle, ever the optimist, immediately knows this is bad news. He curses. "No, not now. Not another one." You can hear the dread in his voice. He's just dealt with one Primarch, and the thought of another one emerging is clearly his worst nightmare. Meanwhile, Eli, who always seems to be at the center of these cosmic events, takes a step back. He's watching as the cocoon splits wide open, and then it emerges. The second Primarch. The description here is incredible. It's sleeker than the first one, more humanoid in its form. Its skin shimmers like liquid metal, just imagine that visual. But the most unsettling part, this Primarch is different. Where the first was rage and chaos, this one feels calm. It's observant, almost surgical in its presence. It turns its gaze to Eli, its eyes completely unreadable, and speaks. "You touched our memories, you carry our past, and perhaps our future." Chills, right? This line changes everything. It knows what Eli did. It knows he connected with their history. Hale, ever the protector, immediately jumps in front of Eli, shouting, "Stay back." But the Primarch isn't interested in a fight. It looks at Hale and says, "We do not seek war with you, Hale. You are one of us." This is a huge revelation. It confirms Hale's connection to these beings. Eli, still reeling, shakes his head and asks the question we were all thinking, "Then what do you want?" The Primarch leans in, its presence both terrifying and fascinating. "To understand what you are becoming." It then raises a hand, not to attack, but to scan Eli's DNA. Eli feels a sudden heat course through him, a feeling that something ancient inside him is stirring, awakening. Chapter 30, titled The Rift of Three Kingdoms. Get ready, because everything is about to change. Deep beneath Astra Haven, the second Primarch is studying Eli when a massive psychic shockwave tears through the chamber. Far above, in Eclipse Park, the first Primarch has sensed the awakening. Its psychic roar echoes through the hive mind, a single furious word: traitor. You shall not interfere. All across the city, the creatures under its command erupt into a violent frenzy. The very foundations of the tunnels shake as the two colossal minds clash. One demands absolute domination, the other seeks understanding. And caught right in the middle of this psychic war is Eli Grant. The chamber begins to crumble, stone and dust raining from the ceiling. Hale, ever the soldier, screams, "We need to get out now." But as they turn to flee, the second Primarch holds them with its gaze. Its voice, ancient and powerful, resonates directly in Eli's mind. "Eli Grant, when the time comes, you must choose between three kingdoms. Three choices that will determine the fate of the world. Humanity," it says, "the ancient blood, referring to its own kind, or your own new species." With that chilling prophecy hanging in the air, the chamber collapses behind them as they make their escape. They emerge into a city ablaze. Astra Haven is burning brighter than ever, a beacon signaling the start of a massive conflict. The lines have been drawn, and three factions are now preparing for war. First, there's humanity, fractured and divided between the forces of Voss and Solon. Then there's the Primarch Empire, a subterranean power now rising to the surface. And finally, the Tan Nan Lui, the new humanity consisting of Eli, Hale, and the rapidly evolving hybrids who follow them. Three kingdoms, just as the Primarch foretold. But that's not all. As the city burns and armies gather, a new signal begins to broadcast from the top of T-Corp Tower, a mysterious transmission that promises to change everything in the chapters to come. What is this signal? Who is sending it? And which kingdom will Eli choose? The war has just begun. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next chapter breakdown. See you next time on T News 9.